land way out there on the Eel River. What I do think needs to happen is that we need to have mitigation for the increased fire potential that these dwellings will represent out there. There's the potential for wildland fires, just because there's going to be more people living out there. There's going to be the potential for more residential fires, structural fires, and there's also going to be increase in medical responses from Potter Valley Fire Department or CAL FIRE. So what I'm requesting is that we get one parcel of land zoned out there in this complex of parcels that would accommodate a firehouse and a helipad. During the course of an average summer out there on the river, we might get 4 or 5 helicopter medevacs of summer season out there. And I really feel that to mitigate the impacts of these new parcels, which will be created due to the rezoning, we should be able to get one parcel out there suitable for a firehouse and a helipad. I guess that's about it.
Okay.
Any questions on that?
Supervisor Pinches?
Wouldn't, with all of the national forest property there and all of the PG ground that's there, wouldn't it be more appropriate to maybe put a location on those, on the ownership that's in the hundreds of thousands of acres, rather than go after a small acreage land over for that? Because probably those, you talk about those accidents that need the helicopter, probably 90% of them are happening probably in Mendocino National Forest?
Some of them in Mendocino County and not on. I mean, we have the ORVs out there, we have the ATVs, and they're tearing all around up the river and the dirt roads.
It just seems odd to me that if there's a need out there for a helipad and a place for a firehouse, that you would go wanting a landowner to put it on his few acres when you got hundreds of thousands of acres of public land that maybe could be placed, something for the public benefit could be placed on that, whether it's PG&E land or the Mendocino National Forest.
I agree with you, Mr. Pinches. As a matter of fact, I'm not sure if you've been following the Stewardship Council and the PG&E watershed. The PG&E watershed lands out there are going to be distributed to either state parks or public entities or nonprofits. There's 5,000 acres of PG&E land out there that the Stewardship Council in the next 2 or 3 years will be distributing. And I agree. And I've even talked about it with CAL FIRE, that perhaps they could build or at least acquire the land necessary for a CAL FIRE firehouse out there. But somehow or another, I'd like to have some sort of guarantee that some sort of mitigation as far as public safety could potentially happen out there, because our little area is growing, and I think we're isolated, and it takes a long time for a fire truck or an ambulance to get out there. It'd really be nice to have a Potter Valley substation out there with a truck that's ready to go, so they don't have to try and bring a loaded fire truck with thousands of pounds of water up over the hill. If we had a truck stationed out there, volunteers could either come quickly over the hill to the truck, or I would envision volunteers right in our own Van Arsdale area, which would respond to that fire truck and get it on the road much more quickly. And what they do now for medevac, there's a T intersection on the north side of the bridge. They have to close down 3 roads and land that helicopter in the middle of those 3 roads. So it's a lousy situation. And if the area is going to grow, I think we need to do something about this. I'm also in favor of the extension of the public comment period. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Warner. Diane Paget, followed by Kathy Bailey.
Hello, I'm Diane Paget from Boonville, and I'm primarily here to speak to the extension. I would like more time. I've tried to read the documents. I'd like to commend the planning team. They're very readable. Technically, they're impeccable, they're beautiful, lots of maps and pretty pictures, but they also are very long and take a very long time. And so I'm here, along with many other people, to ask for the extension. I'd also like to comment to you, the supervisors, that this is a wonderful. The planning team did a marvelous job of research. This document tells us a whole lot about Mendocino County. It tells us a whole lot about the resources. It doesn't do very much planning. It suggests protection. It promotes things, but it does very little to say this is what we shall do in the future. And I would like to see you, the supervisors, taking a more proactive role in directing us in this planning document to the kind of future we're going to have.
Thank you. Kathy Bailey, followed by Kathy Borst.